Let us discuss some other applications of electric field due to continuous charge distributions. First one, electric field due to a line of charge having charge density lambda. Consider a line of charge, consider a line of positive charge having charge density lambda and length L. Electric field due to this line of charge at a perpendicular distance r, here as shown in the figure. At this point, how to calculate it? Let us see. First of all, what we have to do is, always we consider a small element in this line of charge. Due to that small element, we will find out the electric field at this point, and for the total line of charge, we integrate it to get the total electric field. So what we have to do here, I am considering a small element of charge dq and of length dl at a distance L from this point. Okay. Now the electric field due to this small point, due to this small charge at this point will be like this, will be in this direction. Why? Since this is positive charge, the electric field due to this small element is away from it. Now this is L and this is R. Due to this small element, electric field at this point can be written as dE is equal to K dq by, I can write it as this distance. What is this distance? I am assuming this distance as x, so x square. Now from where to where we have to integrate it so that we can get the electric field due to the entire line of charge at this point. Okay, let us assume this point, this angle as theta. Now I will write in this direction dE x and in this direction dE y. If this is theta, this would be theta, alternate opposite angles. So if this element is here and if this element is here, from here to here we can integrate it to get the entire field due to this line of charge. Okay. Therefore now how to do it? Let us see. So what is this dq? dE is equal to K. We know that charge density lambda is equal to dq by dl. This is uniformly charged, that is why for small element of small elemental length, lambda is dq by dl. So I will write it as dq is equal to lambda into dl. So K dq is lambda into dl by x square. So how to get the total field here? L is varying, x also will vary, angle also will vary. So if this L is varying, I cannot do it from minus L by 2 to plus L by 2 because this perpendicular distance is not at the center. It is not bisecting it. So that is why what I do is, I will vary this angle from this end to this end. So therefore what I do is, first I will consider this angle made by the bottom end is alpha, angle made by the top end is beta. Angle made by the bottom end is alpha, angle made by the small upper end is beta. Now this small elemental length is making an angle d theta. Now this theta varies from alpha to this end when this element is here, and to beta this end when this element is here. So this element moves from here to here, so that this theta is varied from alpha to beta, so that we can get the entire field at this point at a perpendicular distance to this line of charge. So dE is equal to K lambda into dl by x square. So how do I write? So I should write each and everything in terms of theta because theta is variable from alpha to beta. Now what I do? From the figure, tan theta is equal to opposite side L, tan theta is equal to opposite side L by R L is equal to R tan theta. I want to remove this dl, so I will differentiate it. dl is equal to R, theta is variable and R is constant at a perpendicular distance R. So I can write secant square theta into d theta. This is equation. So what is this x here? So x square is equal to L square plus R square. Now how to calculate the field? dE is equal to, from this equation, k lambda into dl as R secant square theta d theta by secant square d theta by x square. So L square plus R square. So this is this. So one is dex and one is dy. So let us see. We will calculate dex first. Dex is equal to de cos theta. So therefore dex is equal to de is here it is k lambda r secant square theta d theta by L square. What is L square? R square tan square theta. L square is R square tan square theta plus R square. So from here I can write dx is equal to k lambda r secant square theta, this is cos theta, secant square theta d theta into cos theta by R square common tan square theta plus 1. So here I can write dex is equal to 1r gets cancelled, k lambda by r secant square theta and tan square theta plus 1 is cancelled. So k lambda by r into cos theta into d theta. This is what the equation that we will get by substituting the value of L is equal to r square tan r tan theta here, L r square tan square theta. So and also here dl is equal to r secant square theta d theta. So now this is the final equation. The electric field along x, we will get it by integrating dx. Therefore Ex is equal to k lambda by r is constant, integral of cos theta d theta. Now how this theta varies? This theta is varying from alpha to beta. Since the quadrant is being changed, minus alpha to plus beta. So minus alpha to plus beta. Therefore Ex is equal to k lambda by r into cos theta is sin theta minus alpha to plus beta. Therefore Ex is equal to k lambda by r into sin beta minus sin of minus alpha. So we will get Ex is equal to k lambda by r into sin alpha plus sin beta. Because here sin of minus alpha is minus sin alpha, so comes forward, so minus comes forward, so it becomes plus sin alpha plus sin beta. Sin alpha plus sin beta. Okay, this is a final equation of Ex. Similarly, we can find out Ey also. Ey is de sin theta. De sin theta. Everything is similar. So except here in the place of cos theta, we will get sin theta. So sin theta, we will integrate it. We will get minus cos theta. So we will do it. Okay. So similarly, you can find out dEy, and that integrating it, you will get Ey. So minus alpha to plus beta. Okay. So we have found Ex as Ex is equal to k lambda by r into sin alpha plus sin beta for a linearly charged wire of length L of charge density lambda. Now let us see what are all the cases that we can discuss here. For an infinite line of charge. For an infinite line of charge, case 1. So for this, I can write this is infinity and this is infinity at a perpendicular distance r. this is beta, and this is alpha. As I extend it, this angle goes on increasing, and this beta will become 90 when it becomes infinity. And this alpha is also 90 when it goes on increasing. So like this angle becomes 90 for infinite line. So alpha is equal to beta is equal to 90 for an infinite line of charge. Then I can write alpha and beta is equal to 90. This becomes 2. So E is equal to k lambda by r. You'll get it as 2. So E is equal to 2k lambda by r. 2k lambda by r. Similarly, how to find the electric field due to a line of charge at one end and other end is infinity. So let us see electric field due to line of charge at one end. At one end. So this is infinity. One end I will write. This is infinity. This is beta. Okay. This alpha is not there. Alpha is equal to 0. So beta becomes equal to 90. Alpha is 0 and beta becomes 90 because this is infinity. As we go on increasing, this beta becomes 90, and anyways this is not there, this is at the end. So alpha is equal to 0. Then I can write E is equal to k lambda by r into sine 90 plus sine 0. So I can write E is equal to k lambda by r at one end. This is only the x component that I have calculated. You have to calculate the Ey component also and find out the net electric field here. This only works x component what I have found. Now electric field due to a finite line of charge. So electric field due to finite line of charge on its perpendicular bisector. Electric field due to line of charge on its perpendicular bisector. Consider a line of charge of length L, of charge density lambda. Now exactly on the perpendicular distance r, I want to find out the field here. This becomes L by 2 and this becomes L by 2 and this is r. So therefore this is alpha and this is beta. I can write alpha is equal to beta. By congruence of triangles, I can write this is L by 2, this is L by 2. Sides are equal of these two triangles. This is of similar side for both the triangles, and these two angles will become equal. So alpha is equal to beta. Now I can write the electric field as C. So here alpha is equal to beta. Then I write E is equal to k lambda by r. I can write 2 sine alpha. So E is equal to 2k lambda by r sine alpha. What is this sine alpha here? Either you can take alpha or beta. Sine alpha is opposite side by hypotenuse. Opposite side is L by 2. Hypotenuse will be root of L square by 4 plus r square. So E is equal to 2k lambda by r into L by 2 by root of L square by 4 plus r square. So you can simplify it. E is equal to 2k lambda into L by r into root of L square plus 4r square. So this is a way that we can write the electric field due to a finite line of charge. So this is about the electric field due to a line of charge density lambda. Let us now discuss how to find out the electric field due to a charged arc. Let us see. Electric field due to charged arc. Let us see, draw an arc like this. Let the charge of this arc is q. Let the charge density is lambda. Let the radius subtended by this arc is r. Now how to find out the electric field due to this continuous charge distribution? For any continuous charge distribution, as we already discussed, we have to take a small element, we have to find out the field due to that element, and we have to integrate it from one condition to another condition or using their limitations. Let us see. Now I am doing like this. This as this as y-axis and this as x-axis. Now I am considering this as y-axis and this as x-axis. Consider a small element of length dl which makes an angle at the center d alpha. Let the arc makes an angle theta at the center. Let the arc makes an angle theta at the center. Consider a small element of length dl whose charge will be dq. Okay. Now let this makes an angle of alpha with the vertical. Due to this element, the electric field will be in this direction, which is dE. Due to this charged element, the electric field is away from the charged element, that is dE. It will have two components. This is alpha we have considered. This is alpha, alternate opposite angles, which becomes, this is dEy and this becomes dEx. These are the two components of the fields. Now we will find out first dEy. dEy is dE cos alpha. dEx is dE sin alpha. Now we will find out dE cos alpha. Now dEy is equal to dE is k dq by distance square. Radius of the arc is r. So I simply write k dq by r square into cos alpha. So due to this small elemental charge dq, the electric field at this point is k dq by r square, distance square. So its component is cos alpha. So dE cos alpha. Therefore, dEy is equal to k, dq is lambda into dl. Charge density of this one is lambda. Lambda is charge per unit length, dq by dl, and it remains constant for each and every element and for the total one. So it indicates that it is uniformly distributed charge. So k lambda l by r square into cos alpha. Now therefore, dEy is equal to k lambda by r square. We know that arc length dl is equal to radius of the arc into angle subtended by it at the center. So we can write it as dl is equal to r into d alpha, that which I am going to substitute here. r into d alpha into cos alpha is already present. So therefore, this r get cancelled. So dEy is equal to k lambda by r into cos alpha into d alpha. K lambda by r into cos alpha into d alpha. So this alpha is varying from, so this is exactly at the center. When this element is here, it is theta by 2. When this element comes over here, this is again theta by 2 from here. So since it is changing the coordinate from here to here, minus theta by 2 to 0, 0 to theta by 2, indicating minus theta by 2 to plus theta by 2. So therefore, the net electric field is integral of dEy. So which I can write it as k lambda by r square is constant, integral of cos alpha d alpha from minus theta by 2 to plus theta by 2. So this is how we can calculate the integration value. So Ey is equal to k lambda by r square into cos alpha is sin alpha minus theta by 2 to plus theta by 2. Therefore, Ey is equal to k lambda by r square. Upper limit is, sorry, here we have already cancelled one r. K lambda by r sin theta by 2 minus sin of minus theta by 2. So therefore, Ey is equal to k lambda by r into 2 sin theta by 2. This is the value of electric field due to the charged arc. If you find out dx also, so if a similar element is taken here, the electric field component will be opposite directions along x-axis. So those field components will get cancelled out. So the electric field along x direction is equal to 0. Therefore, the electric field is only along the y direction. This will be this value. So Ey is equal to 2k lambda by r into sin theta by 2. This is the way how we can calculate the electric field due to a charged arc. Now let us see conditions for this one. Let us see, now we have found the electric field due to an arc as 2k lambda by r into sin theta by 2, where theta is the angle subtended by the arc at the center of the arc and lambda is its charge density and r is the radius of the arc. Let us see the conditions of this one. Substitute if the arc is making an angle of 90 degrees at the center, that is theta is equal to 90. So how to calculate the value? The electric field is equal to 2k lambda by r into sine theta is 90 by 2. So E is equal to 2k lambda by r. This is 45 degrees. This is 1 by root 2. So E is equal to root 2 k lambda by r. This is the electric field due to a charged arc which is making an angle of 90 degrees at the center. This is the first case. Let us go with the second case. Second case is if the arc is making an angle of 180 degrees at the center. That is, it is a semicircular charged arc. What does it make at the center? Now let us see. Theta is equal to 180 degrees. Here it is making an angle of 180 degrees. So E is equal to 2k lambda by r into sine 180 by 2, which will be 90 degrees. Sine 90 is equal to 1. Then electric field due to a semicircular arc at the center is 2k lambda by r. 2k lambda by r. Third one we can discuss. If the charged arc is a circular arc, then it makes 360 degrees. Let us see the circular arc. If it is a circular arc, charged circular arc, then it makes an angle of 360 degrees at the center. So E is equal to 2k lambda by r into sine 360 by 2, that is 180. So sine 180 is 0. So electric field at the center is equal to 0. So electric field at the center is equal to 0. This we have already discussed, the electric field due to a charged ring at its center, which was 0. Which we have calculated. Now here also again we have calculated using the arc condition that the electric field at the center of a charged circular ring is equal to 0. So these are the conditions that we can discuss for an electric field due to a charged arc.